Don't waste my time.
According to the letter, this should be the place.
Sorry, we don't serve the general public. I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Wait! We're not the general pub.
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering out...
Are our clothes really so...
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This must be from Mr. Toma. It seems there's more to you than meets the eye. In which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House, a safe haven for the Yashiro...
Well, that sounds more like it. Well, now that we're here, where's Toma? Paimon doesn't see him anywhere.
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
What? Is that dog talking to us?
Relax, no need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form? Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
Ah, now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
Alright, I've had my fun.
Hey, you're this close to getting an ugly nickname, mister!
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you for so long, as was the case in Rito. So I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test you went through earlier. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you just because you're getting all serious now.
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies. Let me just say this. You've often found yourself skirting the rules from the very beginning, haven't you? Naturally, this is due to your unwavering and resolute determination. A long time ago, we had a friend who was much the same. But when the lightning struck... Ah, so you've heard of his story. His light still burns all the more brightly. Yes, of course. I will bring you to the Kamisato residence where the Yashiro Commission is located. But before that, there is one other place I was hoping you both would accompany me to.
Oh? Where?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it from practically anywhere on Narukami Island.
What delicious tea.
really don't come here often, do they? Huh? Are Paimon's eyes playing tricks? Or are there things embedded in the statue?
Visions.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt Decree are put into the statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt Decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contracts. As for Inazuma, it's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs and the Sakoku Decree to limit the people's movement. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it for all time.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent Vision Hunt Decree, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryou Commission to and this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden Shogun is...
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare speak out, and yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt Decree is something that simply should not...
Huh? Hey, are you okay? You look like your mind is elsewhere.
Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything. Did
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then...
aspirations? That would seem to confirm the saying. Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents their ambition. So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined. All right, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Finally!
Embrace the ice! My apologies! this.
Solidify! Solidify! Solidify!
Blink! Boof! Blink!
Take this!
So, this is the kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be snazzier.
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence, honored guest.
Is this the Shirasage Himegimi you keep... Oh, behind the screen?
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after...
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. And Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled under. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds, given the contact we are required to have with them in the performance of our duties. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without also remaining indifferent to our own fate. Traveler, lend us your power, and we can... Oh,
See, milady, it's just like I said. This will take us nowhere.
no, please! Wait! Please, don't go! I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world. Does
Correct. Please do all you can to help them. I will await your return here. Then you have my gratitude.
I'm sure you'll do great.
see? Where's the person Ayaka told us about?
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. We've had no time to prepare. The children are desperate for you to
That must be the guy Ayaka told us about. Let's go.
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt. It's clear that Tejima had done nothing wrong, and still they can't. I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. Truth be told, we aren't.
Seems like he's a well-respected guy around.
You must also be here to try and convince Tejima to stay. Tejima has protected this place ever since he arrived here 30 years ago. Keeping out the treasure hoarders, fending off any monsters that draw near, resolving quarrels between the villagers. But now, all of a sudden, he says he plans to leave us. We can't help but wonder, was it something we did? We will gladly apologize if that's the case. Well...
You must be Tejima. So what's made you want to up and leave all of a sudden?
Me? It's not a question of why I want to leave, but a question of what reason I would have to stay. True, but that's not why I chose to stay here. And what made me want to come here 30 years ago? And why have I never wanted to leave in all that time? I don't have answers to those questions because I can't remember anymore. Ever since they took my vision away, it's like a slice of my memory is gone. In the past, I knew I wanted to stay here. But whatever resolve I had then, it's gone now. So I thought, what's to stop me from moving around instead?
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to stay, you won't need to leave anymore, right? But if you can't remember anything, it's not gonna be easy. Oh, maybe if you just try a little harder to remember, then it'll...
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit, I do believe I saw him writing in a diary.
I keep a diary? If you say so. I honestly can't seem to remember.
Oh, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to make a note of a few interesting things. Things which would prove very important at a later date.
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find his diary.
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back to the village to inform the others of Tejima.
This looks like Tejima's diary, all right. Let's see what we have here. Today, the villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little, so I had to pretend that it was black. Today, I helped rescue a kid who had fallen in the water. After I pulled him out, he told me that his best friend Bamboo was still in the water. I searched the water the whole afternoon before finding out that Bamboo was the name of his pet crab. I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. I soon realized I was never going to get it back, so I just found somewhere to sit and watch as it flew away into the distance. Seems like your average diary of daily village life. Huh? Wait! There's more! I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most treasured. Now that's the kind of info we're looking for! So this is the omamori Tejima wrote about. Interesting. Looking at the color and the design, Paimon would have thought it belonged to a child. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his elemental energy remained on it. The soil looks like it's been... Must be something pretty amazing if it... It looks like... Oh... Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? So the reason Tejima came here was to wait for someone. But he's been here for 30 years. Oh, well... Let's go give Tejima his... One day,
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the omamori and letter belong to me too. But I have no memory still. It's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could share with her when we were finally... And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. How could I have forgotten something so important to me? Love, regret, everything I felt for her. It's all disappeared. No, not especially. After all, I've forgotten who she was. Her face, her voice, the things we experienced together. I barely recall any of it. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. As if all these years have been nothing but a hazy dream. I think maybe not. If this is something I waited most of my life for, I suppose I should carry on waiting. Although, what if she were to turn up eventually, only to find I didn't remember so much as her name? Wouldn't that be upsetting for her? When I think about it like that, I do feel a slight tinge of sadness in my heart. How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't even remember who she is? It's just like that feeling of emptiness, the feeling that something is missing. Thank you both for helping me reconnect with my reason for staying here. I shall remain here and keep waiting for her.
Tejima seems to be dealing okay, but still, it makes Paimon really sad. Seems it's just like Ayaka and Toma were saying. If you lose your vision, you lose all your hopes and dreams too. That certainly explains the state Tejima was in earlier. At least we were able to help him, weren't we? Well, let's go find... According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission. They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. The ones actually enforcing the vision hunt. But why would they take action against one of their own? Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what's...
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food! We demand an explanation!
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions!
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential! Do you understand?
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
Oh, huh? And who are you? One of Kurosawa's gang, no doubt.
What? We just happened to be passing by. We heard the commotion and came to see what the matter...
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps you can help us settle this. This is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us anything. He's keeping the provisions for himself, I just know it. We'll starve without them.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. He's the same as all the other samurai. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us to help someone like him? Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. If I was hoarding supplies, would I still be the poor man I am today? My own family can barely get by as it is. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day.
Well, that's strange.
To be perfectly honest, all I know is that
Does it have to do with the missing
I didn't take any. Like I said, to top it all off, if you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself. If there were any emergency provisions to be had, they would have found them.
He seems to be but we better confirm. We should be able to follow their...
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot. I mean, besides that one.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey. You demand, Bob.
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after. Let's teach them a lesson.
Stabilize!
You dare to hit me!
Have a little taste.
Order guide you.
Oh, there goes all the Mora. We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss. Think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. Oh, so he's the one who sent you.
So what did you...
Food supply. I didn't want anyone else to see, but now that you've caught...
You've got a deal.
Huh?
What the?
There's nothing in here but IOU!
Yeah, a lot of them, and they all seem to be made out to the owner. We better talk to this miss. As for you guys...
So, we redeemed our...
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got everything you need. Or perhaps there's something you want to inquire about? Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off his debts.
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super expensive here?
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover whatever he couldn't afford of the usual amount.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? The price?
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow. Kurosawa Kurosawa was purchasing all the... and no one ever appreciated what he did.
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstances. In the face of hardship, nobody cares to think twice. If you ask me, had Kurosawa told everyone the truth about the supplies from the start, then there wouldn't be such a severe backlash now. Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. As for why he chose to spend his own money on emergency provisions and never tell anyone, I'm still not too clear. If you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me, it seemed most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the
sword? What?
Oh, didn't he tell you? I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was in hindsight. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's
but we didn't...
Information is also a kind of commodity. Wouldn't you agree? Don't worry. I won't charge much for information about Kurosawa. Nothing we ever discussed was explicitly confidential anyway.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions were coming from. Let's go talk to Kurosawa.
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Perhaps Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders?
That just about sums it up. It turns out...
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Even after all you've told me, I still don't remember. And why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? But I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, this sword was once wielded by my father. I remember once when I was young. What did he say? It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. All I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed. Before he passed away, he placed the sword in my hands and said to me, "With this sword, you should..."
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
Virtue and justice? Somehow those two words seem to explain taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. But what use are virtue and justice? The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so desperately... And the irony of all of it is, I'm incapable of being a good person.
Yet another troubled soul. When we get the chance, let's speak to Toma about Kurosawa's death. In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah, seems like losing. Fortunately for us, let's go find the next poor soul. Vision taken is supposed to be a famous sword master around these parts. Paimon heard that he's the present-day master of Meikyo Shisui art. Sounds pretty impressive. This is his dojo. Luckily, there's some people around.
Nanako, don't worry. Sensei will be fine. Those thugs that challenged the dojo were strong, but he fought them all off in the end.
Maybe, but I'm still worried about. Things have gotten dangerous before in the past, but it's
just because he's been possessed.
Hey there!
Who are you? I don't care whether you're trespassers or just here to harass us while Sensei is impaired. Don't make me draw my blade, or you won't live to regret it.
No! You got it so wrong! We just came here to...
Disciples?
Yep. We've heard all about them, but then we got here and overheard you talk...
From the way you're dressed, it doesn't look like you're from around here. Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high alert. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not... I see you are earnest in your pursuit. Okay, how about this? My fellow disciple Nanako and I will explain Sensei's situation to you in a little more detail. Then you can decide. Sensei's name is Domon. A name I'm sure you've already heard. Though self-taught, he mastered the art of the sword to a high level. He then proceeded to defeat many other... He once said that his goal was to become the best, and so, even while training us. But then...
Not long ago, Sensei had his vision taken away. He says the strangest things over and over. Junya and I have discussed it, and we both think... But if I'm honest, I still have my...
The Grand Narukami Shrine?
You haven't heard of it? It's the largest... Not that we'd have any... So don't worry, Nanako. Sensei is going to be just fine. The exorcism will take place this evening. You're both...
So, losing your
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. You would have had to witness Sensei in one of his fits of madness. Just now, when Nanako was attending to him, she heard him whispering a few names to himself. When she asked him who the people were, he suddenly looked panic-stricken. It looked like he was in great distress. He was covering his ears and looking frantically around him with bloodshot eyes. All the while he kept calling those names. Some of them we knew. Others, one of them was Anzai. He used to be... Sensei wouldn't stop calling his name. Thankfully, the shrine maidens managed to subdue him. The ritual has now begun. All we can do is patient. Please, excuse me for a moment while I fetch some water. If he wakes up, he is sure to be thirsty.
Huh? Who's that sneaking around? We won't let them get away with it! Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further up. Aha! Suspicious person sighted!
How did you catch up with me? Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even quicker than he does, unless... I guess it's...
Excuse me! We're the ones asking the questions here! First off, who are you? And what are you doing sneaking around these parts? You...
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day. Long before you ever showed up. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you must know, I am Domon's senior.
His senior? Wait, that means you must...
Anzai? Yes, that's me. Because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained under the same swordmaster, studying Make-Yoshi Sui art together. I had begun training 5 years before him, and everyone looked up to me as a steady and dependable older disciple. Practitioners of Make-Yoshi Sui art seek to achieve stillness of mind,
freedom, but Domon was different. The first thing he did when he joined was go straight to our sensei and ask him, with a beaming smile on his face, how to become the best in the world. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. I thought so too at the time, but only then did I realize he was consumed by...
Sure sounds like he meant business. So...
Because until he arrived, I was convinced that of all the disciples, I was the... Domon's arrival changed everything. When we sparred later, I heard that he sparred with Sensei too. Sensei was advanced in years by then, and unfortunately, after that I wanted nothing further to do with him. So, when I heard rumors that he had lost his mind, my first reaction was to dismiss them as false. How could I decided to quietly come and see if it were... So you see, I came here not to cause him any harm. Okay, you've heard my story. You should get back now. The exorcism is probably finishing.
Seems like we got it wrong this time. He would still... Paimon's not sure we should bring him back with us.
You're saying he isn't possessed? Does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how is that possible? No, I refuse to believe it. Something's clearly wrong.
Nanako, please. Try not...
I'm sorry. With what powers I have, I can find no sign of any malignant spirit having... But spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, and all is certainly...
Lady Yai? Is that... the same Lady Yai that I think...
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Narukami Shrine?
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable indeed, and I am unable to say for certain...
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask, should we prepare a greeting gift for Lady Yai?
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. I must leave now, but we will meet soon at the shrine.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself would have...
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough?
No, that's not what I meant. I just mean this is Lady Yai. Anyway, you should join us too, tomorrow. Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei.
Sure! After all, everyone sees... Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two. Do you think that's Lady Yai? Oh, no wonder Junyo is so excited. She has a... Also, is it just Paimon? Or did she look right at us just now? It was probably nothing. It's not like she's ever...
Keep away. Keep away from me. I gave up the art of the sword. Please, let me go, I beg you.
As you can see, Lady Yai, Domon has persisted in this state for some time now. He appears to see those who have lost to him in duels past, gathered all around...
Lady Yai, it must be a possession, right? This is nothing like him at all. In the past, no matter what came his way, he would always face it with a confident smile.
I'm sorry. It is clear to me that your sensei is not possessed by any evil spirit.
But... then does that mean he...
Yes. This is a change in the person himself. Unable to cope with the tremendous pressure he was under, he suffered a spiritual collapse. With his wits impaired, he finally descended into madness. As one who is thrown into the sea, though he fights back desperately against his predicament, it does nothing to prevent his descent into the depths. As for what has triggered this change, I believe it must be the loss of his vision. For to be stripped of one's vision is to be stripped of one's ambition.
Stripped of his ambition? But Lady Yai, even without his ambition, why should—
Your school practices Meikyo Shisui art, does it not? Stillness of mind, freedom from all agitation. What a fine notion that would be. There was once one who claimed to be indifferent to rank and reward. Then, what of the one who crossed blades with his own sensei and beloved fellow disciple, and defeated them both? Can one truly remain unagitated of still—
Lady, I'm not sure I understand.
The path of the sword master is filled with twists and turns. It is no small undertaking to pursue the position of greatest sword master in the world. It requires one to take their sword firmly in both hands and cut down the hopes and dreams of others, even those of one's closest companion. Only a deep commitment to his ambition to become the best made it possible for him. When that ambition disappeared, he began to doubt himself. As he battled his growing anxiety, he slowly descended into the state you see him in now.
Poor Sensei. To think he's been suffering so—
I'm sorry. It's all my father. Sensei. Ansai.
That's enough.
Huh? Isn't that Ansai? Did he follow us the whole way here?
Ansai. Why are there two of you? Is that you or a ghost? You're here for revenge, aren't you?
You're right to assume that my feelings towards you are far from kind. It's been so long now that I made peace with it years ago. I don't think most of the people you beat along the way would hope. Now I know that we can't place our hopes in you any longer, since you've been stripped of your but that is no reason to strip them of theirs.
But what if one day, the same thing— I put everything I had into trying to become the best. But what if it was all a huge mistake, right? If there's a chance they'll end up like me one day, I'd rather they stay where they are.
Have you asked them what they think?
Sensei, after you rescued me from the hands of the pirates, I told myself I would follow in your footsteps for the rest of my days. I can't know whether I will suffer in my future as you do now. I want to keep going until the day that I can stand before everyone with my head held high and announce that I—
Nanako's far from the only one. Actually—
Goodness. Well,
You see? You can play being stripped of your ambition is something that's so just— You are not in the same position that I was.
I'm sorry to have made you worry for me, and I no longer have the resolve to become the best in the world. But as your sensei, I shall commit to imparting unto you This is my promise. And I humbly ask—
You can count on that. I'd be checking in on you occasionally anyway, just to make sure you hadn't lost your mind again. But I am now used to the life of a wanderer. I do not belong in the dojo anymore. Well, don't just stand there staring at me. Say thank you to Lady Yai and then get yourself back home.
So even though his ambition was taken away, his disciples can take it over on his behalf.
Traveler, a moment, please. Lady Yai has some words for you.
So, my intuition was correct. The wind that blows from afar carries fresh life to these shores. For us to meet now is premature. Nevertheless, you set foot on these islands at precisely the right moment. I have high hopes for you, child. Don't disappoint me.
Ooh, Lady Yai seems to have taken a real interest in you. She seems super mysterious. Paimon's so curious what she really meant by all that. We can come back to it another time. For now, we should go report back to Miss Kamisato. fulfilled all your wishes! Huh? Ayaka! Huh?
Huh?
Traveler, Paimon, it is a pleasure to finally meet you both face to face. I have heard all about how you helped our 3 friends. My sincerest thanks to you.
Yeah. Short of getting them their visions back, it seems like there's no way to really help them. Ayaka, how come this time you get to come out and meet us in person?
Because now that you have done the 3 things I asked of you, I consider you to be my friends. As you will observe, I dispense with the screen for Toma also.
Wait a second. But isn't Toma your, servant? Paimon's happy to help and all, but Paimon sure as heck did not sign up to be a servant.
Oh. Paimon, you are most entertaining. Toma is first and foremost my friend, and was so before he ever became my attendant.
Oh, okay then. Ayaka, you seem pretty different out in the open compared to how you are behind the screen. Alright, we can be friends.
Thank you both kindly. Back to the matter at hand. You have now witnessed the pain of those deprived of their visions. What are your feelings on what you have seen? Perhaps in the eyes of a thunder's roar, lightning's flash, the wind's assault, and the rain's descent. But I believe that surely you understand what they must endure. It seems that perhaps now you can appreciate my feelings on all of that. You will? Really? Naturally.
Alright, bravo, my lady. You were right all along.
See? I told you he wouldn't reject them. I'd placed my trust in the right person after all. Now then, given that the remainder of our discussion pertains to matters of a more confidential nature,
Well, here we are again.
Please continue without me. I'll keep watch.
So, what's the deal with this place anyway? What makes it your favorite meeting spot?
this is land that was gifted to the Yashiro Commission by the Shogun. The Kamisato clan has the exclusive right to plan, build, and repair any property on this land. Such privileges exist due to the Yashiro Commission's role in managing ceremonial affairs.
Oh, Paimon gets it. Got it.
Once the number of ceremonial affairs conducted in the city began to decline, our forebears built a tea house here.
Makes sense. Perfect place for a secret base.
In any case, we can talk freely here. I presume you have a few questions that you wish to ask? The almighty Shogun. I've seen her on but only a few occasions, most of them formal ceremonies. She inspires awe, commands respect, and exudes a sense of absolute authority. But as I recall, it was her almost complete lack of any emotion. In that sense, she appeared to me to be less of a ruler and more... The issue is this. For the vast majority of people, the Vision Hunt Decree is something that has no implications whatsoever. After all, it is but a tiny minority of people who receive visions. Because of this, the attitude of most people towards the Vision Hunt Decree is one of indifference.
How can they be like that?
Nevertheless, in addition to us...
Resistance? You mean like an...
Yes. Many who have lost or fear losing their visions have rallied together under Sangonomiya on Watatsumi Island to form a To say a little more about Sangonomiya. Historically, there has always been some conflict between them and the show, but I do wonder whether there may be some other... Of course! We have tried on numerous occasions. Unfortunately, Each time a proposal, they invariably adopt a stance of unconditional support. It almost makes one wonder.
Ooh, Paimon has a question.
Oh? What would you like to—
Have you got a plan yet to fight the Vision Hunt Decree?
To be honest, we do not.
What?
Please, do not forget that challenging the Vision Hunt Decree is tantamount to challenging a deity.
So what are we gonna do?
Well, for the moment, all we can do is try and reduce the harm that is being caused by this decree. For example, by providing vision bearers with safe refuge, or
You're telling Paimon that there are people out there who can make fake vision—
Don't underestimate the talents of the craftspeople in Hanamizaka. To the naked eye, their counterfeits are indistinguishable from the genuine article. The problem we are facing right now is that Master Masakatsu, who was providing us with counterfeit vision.
Darn!
Yes. We knew it was not a long-term solution, and that it was only a matter— Exactly. I feel the same way. When you are ready, go to Hanamizaka and look for a fireworks shop run by the Naganohara family. You want to know who you'll be meeting in Hanamizaka? Let's just say they'll be easy to find. You'll see what I mean when you get there.
Rise!
Need to be seen by the Commissioner.
Just hand it over. You don't want any trouble with me. If you think your elemental powers are enough to resist the Vision Hunt Decree, then you believe me. You're not the first of your kind we've encountered, and we've seen the same unpleasant outcome time after time.
Can't you make an exception? I just got this vision. I won't even use it, I promise.
So this is the Vision Hunt Decree in action, huh? We can't just sit around and watch things unfold. Psst. Hey! Huh? There's someone trying to get our attention. Come on! This way! What's going on? Can't you— Shh! Quiet! Just sit tight. Hey! This isn't right, you know! Just because you don't have a vision doesn't mean you can sit back and watch it. Huh? Hey, wait! You—
Shh! If you don't keep your voice down, I won't have one much longer.
All right.
Wise choice. All right, let's go.
What should we do now? He's already given up his vision. Doesn't he know what could happen to him? This is your fault. You're the one who stopped us from interfering.
Many thanks, Miss Euthymia. If you hadn't swapped me a fake just now, I'm sure I would have lost it.
No worries. You put on quite the convincing performance.
Oh, so that's what's going on here.
Thank
nothing of it. I could tell from your reaction we were on the same side. Oh, right. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Euthymia, the current owner of Naganohara Fireworks.
Practically everyone on Hanamizaka knows Euthymia. She's the queen of the summer festival.
Whoa, that's quite the introduction. Paimon loves fireworks. It's nice to meet you.
Stop it, Hanjiro. You'll embarrass me. As for thanking me, you'd be better off thanking Master Masakatsu. His handiwork allowed me to keep my own.
Yes, Master Masakatsu is a good man. It's too bad.
Master Masakatsu?
Huh? Do you guys know him too? You don't say. Then it sounds like the Shirasagi Himegimi has a plan. Awesome! I've been thinking about breaking him out too, but if I just march straight in there by myself, I'd probably get Miss Kamisato in a... So, what about if I join you instead?
Sure, welcome to the team. Ayaka told us to go look for help at a fireworks shop. She must have meant you.
Seems like I finally got a new job to do. Besides hiding vision bearers in my shop, that is. So, Master Masakatsu is being held at the police station. I've already surveyed the area.
Whoa, talk about a reliable source.
Not bad, huh? Let's go as soon as everyone's ready.
Time to break him out!
Send one, send 'em all.
Now that we're inside, this place is a whole lot creepier than Paimon imagined.
Come on, this way. As long as I certainly wouldn't want to end up locked away in here. Let's find Master Mas. We should split up. I've got a little present to prepare for Master Masakatsu. I'll be right back.
You sure? All right then.
Yes, you too.
Talk about a big door. It seems we need to collect something shaped like Magatama in order to open it.
Show me what you've got!
Much remains unfinished.
Stabilize!
Remember them. Give us.
Withdraw.
Show me what you've got! I must withdraw. I dare you! Clear cut! Allow me. It's like that.
Don't waste my time.
Train harder.
Battle formation!
This wall looks a bit odd. Maybe there's some special trick to it. These guys seem a lot tougher than usual. Paimon wonders if that armor over there has anything to do with the source of their strength.
Teach them their lesson. Get them!
Solidify!
Soldiers, quick!
Show me what you've got! Solidify! I will have order!
Remember that. Give up.
I dare you! I need to train harder. I've been bested.
Crumble!
Doesn't that Magatama shape look pretty similar to the grooves on the door over there?
Gather! Teach me a lesson. Show me what you've got! Gather! Don't hold back! Ha! Ha! Gather!
Don't waste my time. Submit.
Don't hold back!
Give up.
This is order.
Withdraw.
I need to
It's nothing.
train harder. Solidify!
Stabilize! Gather! Solidify!
Shh! Quick! Hide! Look over there. That must be Master Masakatsu.
Did you really think that little trick of yours could fool us?
Locking you up was just the beginning.
Oh no! Those Tenryo Commission brutes.
If we don't come up with a way to break him out fast, then... Huh? Euthymia, when did you get back here?
I can't bear to watch. If anything happens to Master Masakatsu, our whole plan will have been for nothing.
Hey, you there! What are you—
ma'am.
We were just teaching him a little lesson, that's all.
Huh? Who's that?
That's Kujo Sara, adopted daughter of the Kujo clan of the Tenryo Commission. She's also a general in the Shogun's army. What's she doing here?
Make way, let me have a look at him. I'm sure you're well aware that torture is strictly against military regulation.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are unashamed of such disgraceful action, then you are also unworthy of the Tenryo—
Yes, ma'am. It won't
Paimon sure wouldn't want to get on her bad side.
Hey, this is our chance. Let's move while they aren't watching Master Masakatsu.
Euthymia, are you sure now's the right time?
Who is that? Quick, go and investigate.
Yes, ma'am.
They're coming! Quick, hide!
Sorry. I didn't mean to. Don't worry, I've got us covered. Time for my little present.
Fireworks?
Huh? Was that an explosion?
It sounded like fireworks.
Quick, let's hurry!
The fireworks were enough to distract them. Maybe more.
Fireworks aren't just for festivals, you know. I was particularly proud of this batch. I decided to.
Euthymia, this is turning into a bit of a fireworks display.
Well, fireworks are my craft after all. Every batch has to be spectacular.
Look, the coast is clear. Now...
Euthymia, is that you?
Master Masakatsu! Sorry we took so long. Oh, those awful guards.
Come on! We've got no time to lose! Oh.
Yes, leave. Before I let my judgment get the better of me. He's in serious condition. Be sure he gets immediate medical attention. But remember, once he's recovered, It won't be long until I bring him right back.
Well... You can bet we'll do all we can.
Leave this place.
We're finally out of that creepy...
Yes. Finally.
Master Masakatsu, how do you feel?
Don't worry. I think I can make it to the infirmary without keeling over.
Thank you. All of you. I'll take him to get treated. I'll treat you to a...
Don't worry about us. Just take care of Master Masakatsu. Good thing we... Right, Kujosara. It seems as though there are some okay people among... How about we go tell Ayaka and the other...
I see. So Kujo-Sara stayed her hand. It would appear she's still... I wonder if we should try establishing contact with her.
Unlikely. Don't forget, Kujo-Sara is also carrying out the Vision Hunt decree. She obeys the orders of the Raiden Shogun without question. In her eyes, Master Masakatsu is of no threat to the decree. This is why she was so willing to allow his... If our true motives were ever divulged, she would act against us without a
True. Though if you ask me, Master Masakatsu's release is an We are now one step closer to victory. And we couldn't have done it without Euthymia and the Traveler. You're turning out to be even more reliable than we expected.
Don't mention it.
Indeed. Things may have turned out very differently this time without the help of the Traveler. But if we wish to mount any sizable resistance against the Vision Hunt decree, there is still much to be done. It is time we make ready our next set of plans.
There's no need to rush, my lady. Things seem to have taken a turn for the better, at least. Not only have we rescued Master yes, which reminds me. The Tenryou Commission seems to be making preparations for a celebration. They call it a ceremony, and the number of samurai out enforcing the Vision Hunt decree seems to be waning.
A ceremony, you say? Why would such a task be left?
I don't know, but I'm sure it has nothing to do with us.
Being in a constant state of alert will only tire us further. Toma, what would you suggest?
I'd say a celebratory feast is in order. Might I say, funny enough, I learned a new hot pot game recently.
A hot pot game? What's that?
Simply put, every person... Then we take it in turns to close our eyes. Anyone who guesses correctly... Don't you think it sounds like fun? I've been wanting to give it a try.
You really do want to play, huh? Well, sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. Time to gather... Let's see what we've got here. Nice! You can't go wrong with... Paimon never thought we'd be the only ones to... This was possibly the scariest looking hot pot Paimon's ever seen.
You can say that again. But hey, at least I got the most points. Oh, wait a moment. That doesn't feel good.
I'm afraid it's your own fault for adding all those strange ingredients, Toma. The soup flavor wasn't quite the same afterwards. Even with the Traveler's normal ingredients, I still couldn't guess any of them correctly.
But weren't you the one who added those little cakes, Ayaka? I think the Traveler ended up eating one. Boiling cakes in hot pot? Ugh. Think of the text.
I must apologize. To be perfectly honest, I thought the cakes would be a tasty addition.
Uh-oh. I'm definitely not okay. I need to light. I feel like a new man.
You know, Toma, all you had to do was guess wrong on purpose and it would have been someone else's turn.
Guess I've been feeling unlucky recently and wanted the God of Hot Pot's blessing. Perhaps I did get a little carried away. Still, I couldn't be beaten at my... I think my luck has already taken a turn for the better. So without further ado, I hereby declare that the...
Oh, brother.
Good effort, team. Another important job taken care of. Next.
Yes. If the Tenryo Commission truly is as... And with the extra time, there are some other matters I wish to attend to.
Let's all take some much-needed time off. After a few days' rest, well, downtime is hard to come by these days, so I'll tidy things up here and start thinking about our...
There's gonna be a sequel?
Sure, why not? We should play again now that everyone knows the rules.
Bye, Toma!